What's up, guys? So, the story of how I accidentally met my long lost family. So, it was the summer time, and I was about 16 years old, and I had just gotten out of Washington County Detention Center. I was in there for I don't remember how long, but it was, I know I was in juvie, and I didn't live in Washington County, but Kenosha County didn't have their own juvenile detention center to send delinquents to. So we used to get sent to Racine County Detention Center, which is where I got in my first fist fight and got jumped for the first time. But that's another story. Anyway, my grandma, my aunt, and my great grandma, back when they were still alive, had all picked me up from the detention center. I didn't know it until we got in the car, but they were bringing me straight to the Indian reservation, and I can say that because I'm Native American. But anyway, I'm not one of those natives that gets offended by calling us Indians. I call myself that just because I can, but, anyway, I was born out there in Becker County, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and I'm White Earth Band Ojibwe. That's what the paw is on, the claw is on for my face. Indudame Makwa means I am Bear Clan. But anyway, yeah, I was born out in Becker County, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and we moved to Wisconsin when I was pretty young, so I don't remember my dad ever being around when I was little. I grew up mostly in Kenosha County area, Wisconsin. I've lived a lot of different places around this area. We moved around a lot when I was growing up, and I never knew who my real dad was. My mom's husband adopted me and made me take his last name when I was in 5th grade, only to have him divorced 5 years later. And I'm still stuck with his last name, so that sucks, but I'm trying to file to get it changed back to my birth name, but it's sort of a process, and it costs money, which I don't have at the moment. But anyway, back to the story. So we basically drove like 10 hours or so straight up to the reservation, and we got there, and we visited family for a few days, and like the 3rd or 4th day we were there, right before we were about to leave the next day, we went to this house that I had never been to before, and it was supposed to be like a family reunion or something like that. So I got out the car, and at this time, my family already knew I smoked cigarettes and abandoned trying to get me to quit. So I lit one up. And by the way, I just quit smoking cigarettes a week ago. It's the best decision I could have ever made. But anyway, I get out the car and start smoking, and this guy walks up to me. He's like, "Hey man, do you got a lighter?" And I gave him one, and I told him to keep it because I was like, back then I was the dude who always had a bunch of lighters in his pocket, But I digress. Anyway, what had happened was me and this random guy were sitting there smoking our cigarettes, and I don't remember what the subject was, but we were making small talk. And my grandma grabs my shirt like this and pulls me off to the side all wide-eyed and shit with this expression on her face, like, so I'm like, what, And she's like, "Do you know who that man is that you're talking to there?" And I'm like, "I don't know, one of my gazillion cousins." She's like, "No, that's your biological father." I'm like, "Man, you mean the dude that just bummed my lighter? That's my dad." So anyway, I walk up to him and I'm like, yeah, so I guess I'm your son." So I don't remember if we shook hands or if we hugged or what we did, but we did some sort of embrace. And he starts asking me all these personal questions like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I just got out of juvie. I'd lost my job." He's like, "Oh, do you have a license?" I'm like, no, I got in trouble, got it suspended." And, but anyway, he's like, "Do you want to meet your siblings?" I'm like, and keep in mind, at this point in my life, I had no idea I had other siblings besides my younger brother and sister on my mom's side. So I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to meet my siblings. So he then proceeded to introduce me to 3 sisters and a brother that I didn't even know that I had until that moment. So he also introduced me to my grandma and grandpa on his side of the family, on my dad's side. Anyways, I stayed in contact with my older sister and my dad over the years, but lost touch with everyone else. It made me kind of sad because both my grandparents on his side died before I got the chance to go up there and spend some real time with them. But at least now that I know I met them, and I get to say that I met them in my lifetime. And anyway, that's all I got for this one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like rap music and you like music that tells a story, even if you don't like rap music, you might like this song. It's called "Diary of a Drug Addict," and it's posted on my channel. And it's a crazy story about a baby addicted to drugs because his mother was using during the pregnancy and couldn't control her habit. But it's the story of his life, and it has a wicked, twisted ending. So go check it out.